why you always hate.
Why you wait?
Please tell me why you always hate.
There are men, and there are giants.
Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed, the hip-hop since and Bobby out the slammer. Hip-hop start on the East Coast and then move west down to Bama. I'ma bring it back to New York, hold those and throw your hands up. Pass me a cup of the club with the juice and the get bent out. Then I'ma slide with it to my body and head up to my penthouse. Oh, I'm not trying to take it slow, working hard, cake and dough.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It may be hard to find a running lane today. The Falcons are top 10 in rush yards allowed, and they're going up against a Panthers team that will need to figure out how much it can count on the run. With that, let's get you out to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are just off of Centennial Olympic Park Drive at the home of the Falcons since 1992. It's the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. They'll run with Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
It should go without saying that anytime you run the football well and gain a nice chunk of yardage, that means the offensive line did their job and did it really well. But let's give them a little more credit than that, because all week long, offensive line meetings, they're going over adjustments, counters, when line shifts, all those things that go along with it. And yet you still have to be physical, and that's what they did on the first play.
They go again with Davis. And he's got some space here. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
And some room to roam now. The 20. And he'll go out of bounds, making it all the way down to the 5. A big play there for the Panthers. 43 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Shift together here from the D-line. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
From the 5-yard line, will this opening drive yield 6? This is 3rd and goal. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And a dump off here to Robinson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a first down throw, Sanchez. He completes it to Julio Jones. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Let's go now. White 18. White 18. Gun.
On 1st and 10, Sanchez. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And here are the defensive starters. In your old position, you get to talk about the secondary.
The best athletes on the field, Brandon.
Debatable.
Well, we'll see how this goes today. I love the way you put my guys down. But you know this. They've got to cover, and they have to tackle. They have a heck of a task in front of them in this game.
Here's Newton. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And Olsen over the middle. A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired. Makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Second and 10. Newton again. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rap.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Newton on first down. And, oh, he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Paul Warlow coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Play action. It's Newton. Dancing to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. The intended receiver was Corey Brown. And it'll bring up third down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Third and long. It's Newton. Surveying the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And here now come the Falcons. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Second down, here's Sanchez. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. They were looking that time to get it to Justin Hardy. And it's third down.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
Now Sanchez. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Fielded just inside the 20. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. They come out here in the eye. Now Davis. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a Carolina first.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block them.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Tyson Jackson busting through to get him for a loss of 6. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Niall Davis off to the races. Touchdown, Carolina. Niall Davis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. It doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here we go. Right 18. Right 18.
On second and 10, Sanchez. And this is incomplete. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space. Third down here.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Throwing on third down, Sanchez. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
To throw on second down is Newton. And this is caught at the 8. Touchdown, Carolina. Kelvin Benjamin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They will run again with Coleman, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
8 yards to go here on second down. To throw on second down is Sanchez. And it's complete to Jacob Tamme. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They go play action here on first down. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Black 35. Black 35. Check, check, check.
2nd and 10. Sanchez here again. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on off.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Carolina. Corey Brown, 83 yards. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was going for the age. I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now a first down throw, Sanchez. And it's caught over the middle, Hooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to an Atlanta first down. And quickly they get to the line. Here's Sanchez. He's going to let this one go deep. And for the third time here this half, it's intercepted. It's the safety, Kurt Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And onto the field here come the Panthers. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there.
Davis fighting. He loses the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And he's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 37. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a second down.
I think we need to come up with a different name for this position. We keep calling it the fullback position. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback, but we know this. Whoever's coming out of that spot is usually bigger and stronger, and they may not run away from people, but they'll run through them.
Yeah, able to shed tacklers. We saw it right there. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. They find some open field here. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Field goal unit not out there. They want 6 before halftime.
20, under 10, under 10.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
Check.
A final shot before the break. Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter. Not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're stopping.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. On the carry, it's Davis. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Hey, check 31, wake up. Check 50, check 50.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. And they're able to get this one down to the 25.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Vic Beasley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. 3rd and long. It's Newton. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. So now off goes Newton, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
So out come the Falcons now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down.
3 down, 3 down. Ready, black 35. Gun.
Here's Sanchez now on 2nd down. He's going to sling this deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 43 yards. And now a 1st down following that long gain. On 1st down, it's Sanchez. He's going to try and go deep again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
2nd and 10. Sam's rush coming, and he's taken down. Coney Ely in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. And the Panthers coming out now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Here's Davis now. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. So it'll be first down here after the run.
Let's go.
They left it a receiver running out of the Wildcat. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
On the run, it's Robinson. And some room to maneuver. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
We can talk about bend but don't break all we want, but the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to slow down this offense?
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can. After
knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down.
And my good, down the numbers. There he goes. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2nd down following the run. They come up in an offset eye. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Shift together here from the D-line. On 2nd down, here's Sanchez. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. This is Coleman. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's go now. White 18. White 18. Check 59. Mike is 59.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
Now, that run is one to build on, and I know it sounds like a cliche and it seems like a simple thing, but truthfully, coaches are always looking for something to pull out of a tough go. And right now, this team has had one of those. So that run there, I guarantee you that's a clip and save as they move forward and look towards the next game. And he'll tell his team, this is what we're looking for. This is what we planned for. Let's have more of this to start games as opposed to getting it at the end.
They come out here in the eye. Here's under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback right in the face of him puts him down.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed. And
now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So out now comes the... And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The storyline in this